Flash games, the pinnacle of gaming in the early 21st century. Before the domination of online video games, the internet was ruled by Flash. You have the classics, Club Penguin, Pop Tropica, Fireboy and Water Girl, Dexter's Laboratory, Runaway Robot. You get the picture. Old subscribers of mine would know that I was originally a gaming channel, uploading that quality gaming content.
Yeah. You gonna get wrecked, son? Dude, Chica's on the hallway, what do I do?
So of course, to commemorate our old beloved friend who is now on his deathbed, I will dive deep into the games of the past. That's right, we'll be looking at old obscure Flash games from Korea. I know that not many people will be able to relate to this video, but the first game we will cover is Sei의 대모험, which translates to Sei's Adventure. As you can see from the loading screen, it gives much promise about the game. I mean, look at that intro.
Say hi!
But as we head straight into the game, we can see that the absolute chat of the loading screen has the most generic face in game. Talk about false advertising. I was too lazy to read the whole exposition, but it's nothing too interesting. Just save the town and kill the monsters. You got the classics, such as worm and apple, a head of cabbage, a scarecrow, a chili pepper, a cowboy ant, a bug, some rocks, and those little tree things from Pokemon, but with cool glasses. To be honest, I had high expectations for this game. In my mind until now, I remembered it as being the pinnacle of gaming, and I always wondered how much fun I would have if I ever got to play it again. And now that I have, unfortunately, the game is what you expect of a 10-year-old Flash game, which basically boils down to Maple's story, but worse in every way. The movement is clunky, the knockback is way too harsh. Sometimes the shots just don't register. It's very unforgiving. Overall, it's a decent game, just far lower than I expected. A lot more clunkier than I thought it would be. I give it a 6 out of 10. Now this is one of the old Korean classics. I bet every Korean has played this game before. Translated to making hometown dumplings. Your job is to make the best dumplings in the town. You first make the insides, you then make the skin, you choose the shape of the dumpling, the method of cooking, and get taste tested by Gordon Ramsay himself. If you do anything even slightly wrong, the guy will nearly choke himself to death after eating the rancid creation you made of him. He will then give a critique on what part of the process you did wrong. The dumpling insides have to be perfect, you have to make the skin properly, and the shape has to match properly with the method of cooking. Now since you guys know how much of an expert I am in cooking, I'll guide you through on how to make the best hometown dumplings. First ingredients, we got beef, tofu, onion, cabbage, egg, this sauce, a cracker, a hot pepper, garlic, cheese, leek, chili pepper sauce, mayonnaise, and I don't know what that is honestly. Now behold as I speedrun this 15-year-old game. Every other option is trash, so follow carefully. And let's try that again. And just like that, we managed not to be a failure. 10 out of 10. 체리마루가 되자, or let's see. Let's become cherry floor. The translation makes no sense, but it roughly translates to let's become Cherrymaru, which is a brand of ice cream. The lore basically consists of this cherry that is the queen cherry who wants to become an ice cream. She must undergo 3 intense trials in order to do so. Oh no, this might be a little hard. The first trial, you gotta make this cherry run on a treadmill, and she just goes faster and faster and faster. Trial 2, you You gotta get that knowledge. The books just fall from the sky and you have to catch all of them. All of that CSGO flick training is all for this. Trial 3, click fast, that's it.
체리마켓 꼭대기 체리마루
7 out of 10. What is Goops? Well, good question. It is apparently a branded chips. They probably don't exist anymore. And it is our job to cook them. You choose the ingredient, the seasoning, the method of cooking, and the rest of the game is just this. And this game is hard. Like, you are gonna fail a lot. In order to win, you're gonna have to choose the shrimp, the salt, and decide to cook by the fire. Look how happy they are. 6 out of 10. As a side note, if you look at the top comment in this game, and you put it on translate, it says, if you look at this post, all the curses you have seen will disappear. Instead, you should only copy and send this article in 3 places. Otherwise, your father will die, your mother will be in the hospital, and you'll be followed by a blind woman every night. Good luck. So yeah guys, don't forget to copy paste this comment 3 times so that you will not be followed by a blind woman. Baked potatoes. Just bake some potato chips. That's the whole game. Like Goops, you choose the ingredients. And you have to cut it up into 3 equally sized sticks. If you screw up the timing, you just get to watch. This part is actually very hard. I recommend using these lines as guidance. You have to successfully bake 20 sticks to win. It's very similar to Goops. There's nothing much to this game. 6 out of 10. 해태를 찾아서 In Search of Haitai. I don't know how Haitai became Haitai, but okay. It's one of those classic shoot 'em up style games where you play boy or girl in search of all the snacks in the world. But I will go with boy. I remember this game being extremely difficult when I was a kid. But playing it now, it was no doubt the easiest game. You can just hold down the spacebar and you will literally never get hit again. Now, the second level does introduce some really fast gum sticks. I don't know, I got my life back just as fast. As for the boss fight, I seriously beat it in a few seconds. And now, look how happy boy is. 6 out of 10. Crazy Arcade is one of the flagship series from Nexon. This old Flash game is like one of those Bomberman games, but with water balloons, pirates, mummies, and bats. You also get various power-ups in this game, and you just need to explode the water balloon on the guy, which will eventually make him drown to death. There are 5 levels with increasing difficulty, and it's overall a solid game. Like the 5th level, you're gonna have like 20 enemies just running around. Eight out of 10. Bery Tong. This is your standard arcade game where you play this yellow candy ball and try to find your way across a sea of purple square candy. Like most other games, I found this game extremely hard when I played long ago. Like no joke, those moving squares would get my butt clenched every time. But other than that, it is pretty easy and surprisingly short. 7 out of 10. STARTWARS. I only included this because of the name. The Korean name clearly says Star Wars, but I don't know how it got translated to Star Wars. But other than that, this game is nothing to write home about. 10 out of 10. For the title. 대부자. This game is like a spot tycoon. At first, it really isn't clear what your job is, but you hire one of these animals to work for you. You can turn the water on, give a dude a good massage, collect sentient dead skin cells. For some reason, the game just bugs out after the first day, so I couldn't get further than this. Yeah, this just continues forever. Because I couldn't get past the first day, I probably missed out on a bunch of content. Yeah, I don't know what is going on either. 6 out of 10. Haitai Market. You need to buy 4 required things, but also it needs to match exactly 10,000 won, basically $10. And the clock is ticking, like you have 30 seconds to find all the required snacks. It's like those mad minute tests they would make kids do in elementary school. Like most children would never be as excited about math ever again. You get the same rush of adrenaline as you try to add up to 10,000 as soon as possible. No matter how good you are at math, prepare to get ridiculed by this witch on how bad you are. Oh yeah, it is Haitai. I'm not crazy. I'd say this game is a solid 9 out of 10. JaCrispy and Baby Well Cool. For this one we have a two-parter for 2 similar games. First is 어싱싱해, which is the name of the chip brand the game is named after. Since crispy is in its name, we will call this game going forward JaCrispy. The other game is called Baby Well Cool. JaCrispy and Baby Well Cool start very similarly, in which you have to eat the required amount of fish, starting with the tiny ones, and gradually going up against those bigger fish. I know you have seen variations of this game done before. The final enemy in both games is also the shark. JaCrispy is quite an easy game, and I was able to beat it in my first try. You got 4 lives, so it is pretty easy. Look at that smile. On the other hand, Baby Well Cool is extremely hard. Instead of 4 lives, you get this health bar that depletes if you don't eat anything in a while. Also, coming into contact with the enemy rapidly depletes your health bar, like they're attacking you every millisecond. Not to mention the sharks, which unlike JaCrispy sharks,
What do I do?
they will hunt you down. And also they one-shot you. This game was pretty difficult to beat, but look at that winning screen. 7 out of 10 and 8 out of 10. And that is a good portion of the games I can remember that I played. Of course, I probably missed some, but I think I gave a good representation of my past. It really is a shame that Flash is shutting down, but the decline of Flash has been imminent for quite some time now. I'm aware that there are efforts to preserve some historic Flash games, but it is a stretch to believe that all the Flash games ever made will be preserved. It is unlikely that most of the classic Korean Flash games will make it past this year. It really may be a disappointment, but nothing lasts forever. I personally think that it's best to just make amends with the past and just admire the wonderful childhood that Flash has been able to provide for us.